Welcome to the Freud's Angels weekly reading, bringing the collective guidance and understanding for this week's energy.
Remember, never give your power up to a reader or a reading. You always have the power of autonomy.
Hey, angels, welcome to your weekly reading. We are reading from September 14th through the 20th. It is, oh my God, and it's like midway through September. Yikes, that makes me a little like, oh my God.
Yeah. Well, for me, September is like, do it. Like, this is when I think we're coming up on the anniversary of when I moved to Florida. September is it's because, Libra season's coming.
Yeah.
My season, I feel myself.
Vanessa's feeling herself. Yes. Sorry, everybody. It's been a long morning. We've been talking and it's like way past the time when you normally start, but it's really great. Yeah. Apparently we thought we did this last week, but we did it 2 weeks ago. So we're not really sure about time or space or dates. So
yeah. And we're doing a lot in our lives. Like, I feel like we had a lot to just be like, wow, this is what's happening, and reflect on and be excited about and share vibration on. So it's really, yeah.
Yeah. And it's good to connect because living alone and being in a space where I haven't made many connections yet, it's nice to connect to people because the loneliness does happen. I was having a moment, what was it, Saturday, one of the 2 days, Friday. I was just feeling like I was missing all my peeps in Pacific Northwest because, on a weekend, we'd be like, where are we going? Where's our adventure this weekend? And so it would get me out and I'd go adventuring, and then I don't do that. And yes, I can do that on my own. And I've done it once and, and I will do it more, but, it kind of made me miss them because adventuring on your own is vastly different than adventuring with a friend. So
100%.
It's just a little bit like, oh, just missing them. And, and part of me would be like, it's okay. You're better off here. Like, because I'm happier here, like I shouldn't feel that way. I'm like, girl, we don't have
duality. We're allowed to have duality.
Yeah. And so like you can miss people and still not want to be there. It's okay to miss them. So yeah. So to my Pacific Northwest peeps, I miss you dearly. And I miss our connections. But what are the mermaids going to tell us this week?
Well, I had quite a visual reaction when this came out, but I have now looked at the card and feel better. My initial reaction was my own personal feelings on this card, but it actually aligns pretty well with kind of the energy that I feel like has been coming at me, both personally and in the counseling space, kind of over and over again. And it is the waiting card. Again, I mean, I know that this card has come out again, or has come out frequently, but I feel like the idea of like when you're looking at it, sometimes waiting isn't like literally just about patience. It's about understanding how things flow and how things process and how things actually grow, right? And that you don't have to wait with anticipation. You can wait with awe of the process, right? Like if you've ever gardened before, right? Like when you plant that seed, you're like, oh my God, I can't wait. But then when it comes up, you're just like, whoa, and like awe takes over that you've grown something. And every day you're not waiting for it to grow, you're excited to see what has happened that day, right? And so that's like a very different form of anticipation. It's like not with impatience, and it's not with, like any kind of like stress or anxiety. It's just with like, wow, this is amazing. So when I actually looked at the card, when I faced my own fears of what it might have to say to me personally, I thought about that because, in my personal life, I'm very impatient. We all know this. I want things happen now, and then my saboteur will come out and make something happen. That's not usually a great thing, to be honest. And so I've had to have a sticky note up here that says, let the process in big capital letters, because I need to look at it a bunch of times. And I've had to say it a bunch of times in sessions this week about like the beautiful part of the process is looking at it sometimes, like sitting down with people and having them be like, oh, I can't believe this isn't happening. And being able to go, oh, but it is. Like, let's look at where you started from and see that you're actually walking on the path. It's kind of like you don't start the marathon and end the marathon, you run the marathon, right? Like, and when you cross the mile markers, you're like, fuck yeah, cross the mile markers, right? Like, but you can't miss them, or else you don't have the whole experience of it, and you don't feel the momentum building, and you don't feel the like empowerment as you go along, and you know what I mean? Like, you just don't feel what you're supposed to feel if it comes to you immediately. And so that's what I feel like. It's not just about the waiting, it's just about the like kind of the awe that we can have of everything if we allow that to be what comes in. And you know, in my own personal life, I need to do that because it's so easy for me to forget, which is like, here's a confession that sucks to say out loud. It's easy for me to forget what other people's lives are like, which sounds really dumb when you say it out loud, because I sit down with people and hear what their lives are like, and they're always drastically different from mine. But I forget, right? So then I project what I would do or what I think is best onto other people and expect them to meet me there immediately, right? Because I'm just like, well, we're on the same page about this, right? So let's just like fucking do it. And it's like, we're not. Like, maybe mentally we might be on the same page about it, but the process is very different for both of us, and or groups of us, or you know, like whatever that is. So in that waiting period, I have the opportunity to be like, that's amazing. The same way that it was amazing for me when I go back and look at my own life and be like, oh, remember when you first started to do that? Like, that is amazing that you went through all of that transition, and you had to go through that transition, even when it was ugly, even when it was bumpy, even when like some of the stuff you're cringing at right now, where you're like, geez, like other people saw that. You know, like can't be unseen. But you know, most of the time when I tell people about it, they're like, oh, I don't remember that. I'm like, that is fantastic news. Like, I needed to hear that during my process, you kind of didn't give a shit.
You didn't see the blip how I saw the blip.
Exactly. Like, you are not holding on to this nearly as much as I am. And so that's what I feel like the card is here to say, is just being like, stepping out of the impatience part of it, stepping out of the outcome part of it, to be able to be in wonder and awe about how things actually unfold, right? Like, how, you know, if you're, I mean, you talk about sourdough and baking bread, and I don't make sourdough, but I bake bread, right? Like, and sometimes when you're waiting for it to rise, it's pretty fucking cool, right? When you're like, that was flat, now it's big.
Yeah. It was little, now it's big.
Exactly, right? Like, right. And if you go check it on the way, like, you're just like, wow, it's happening. That's what we're talking about, is like being in awe of the process versus just, man, I just mixed the dough. Why isn't it bread yet?
Right. Right. Oh my God. Oh my God. If I felt that way about sourdough, I'd never do it again.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Like, because it's just the anticipation of it. So that's what I feel like is what the card is coming here to tell us about what we can see in our times of allowing things to grow and process. Way less triggering than when I initially looked at it. That was like, calm down, bitch.
Cool your jets.
Yeah. Why are you so damn impatient all the time?
Oh my God.
What are
Okay.
you being paired with over here?
So this is a whole stay for the arc, okay, friends, because stay for the trajectory of this, because this is going to seem antithetical to what she just said. Like, it's going to seem like the opposite of it. But it's a whole big picture, and we'll paint it. But let's just, so I got the surrender procrastination card. And so you would think that it's the complete opposite of what Vanessa just said, but it's not. But so stick with us. So now is the time to jump on a goal instead of putting it off. Take action. Taking action will attract success. Now, I'm going to also, to tie everything in, we're going to share a numerology card this week, and probably continuing. And the numerology card that came out was number 11.
I knew it was 11. I was sitting here thinking 11 because I love 11.
And it's individuality is what it is. And so let's paint the arc, right? Let's paint the whole story, right? So I think when Vanessa was talking about process and talking about flow and being in the flow, I think we procrastinate the flow because it's not just about it's about worrying about what will people think, how will it be perceived, how will it be held, like what is it that, oh my god, it won't be good enough, or there's all the conversations that we have in our head. Now the individuality card number 11 is sharing us the encouragement to celebrate who we are and the special energy and the special sauce that we bring to the world and the light that we bring to the world. No, there's no one person that is the same. You are specifically you for a reason. And so what happens is we get scared. And so then we procrastinate on living our dream and going for our dreams or living our life in a very authentic way. And so the individuality card, I will trip this up, is saying, dude, take the bet on you. Bet on you, bet on why you're here, bet on what you're here to bring, and bet on that your uniqueness, your individuality is what makes you the most special. And to help you stop the procrastination of stepping into that space of flow, of process. It doesn't mean you run forward full tilt and trip over yourself, because that is actually, it's the brain's way of shutting you down, because when we're full on like that, when we're like, well, I'm going to do this, I'm going to be me. And then we do other things and then it doesn't quite work and it kind of falls flat. It wants that to happen to keep you safe because it's afraid. So when we take that slow, we kind of stop the procrastination and you kind of wait in the process of what you're developing. The waiting is important because you can't get to the end without starting at the beginning. It's that race and it's starting. It's the idea is starting, and it's starting of going, okay, this is what I want to build. And then slowly waiting in increments to hear what's the next step? What's the next mile marker in that marathon? Where are you getting? What is the next process in this? And helping you move forward into what it is you're here to do. And so it's really about, it's not ironic that this applies a lot to what we were talking about in the pregame, in that, for us, it's like, yeah, well, duh. And
because we won't listen to the message otherwise, unless we have to give it to
unless we're giving it to the world. We get so worried, and sometimes we don't feel confident enough to do the work that we want to do because we feel like we're not valid enough, or that we're using, or we're hiding behind something or someone or a label or a person or an energy or whatever it is. And this eclipse season for me brought kind of this awakening of, I've been teaching the hollow bone, which is amazing. Don't get me wrong, for quite a few years I've been in it, but it's starting to become this mask that I wear. And I think I use it as the mask because it's hard for me to articulate what I do in the world. It's hard for me to say what I do and to what I share and the power of what I do. And it's also a little bit of a self-confidence thing, a confidence in what I'm doing. And, this eclipse season has brought me these spaces where it has shown me what I can do. It has shown me where I don't need the guise of the hollow bone in order to be successful. It's not that I'm not going to do it. It's not that I'm not going to support it. It's not that I'm not going to be a part of it, but it's telling me, stop the procrastination of pushing my own boat into the sea with my own special energy, not just the hollow bones energy, not just Phoenix's energy, but my energy. Yeah. And sit in my own individuality of what I do and owning it, because I've seen the transformation. Yeah. We're smack dab in the middle of the course that I have co-created with Spirit. And like the fact that like I'm leading this with there was no manual. There wasn't this list of things you need to do from someone else to tell me how to do it. I'm doing it. And so it's been this, I think, slow awakening of my own individuality and the power behind it in order for me to own it. And of course, it had to be this way. I couldn't just step into it. I had to be in action to see the proof of the validity of what I feel I'm here to do for others. And so it's helpful. But once I own that individuality, it's like I'm going to stop. Like it's allowing the procrastination to fall away. And because I don't need to procrastinate, I just need to flow. I just need to wait and hear what the next step is. And I don't need to rush in with all the things figured out. I can just wait, like, right? I can
Right.
wait until I get the inspiration or feel the co-creation. But the action that the surrender card is trying to say to us is surrender the procrastination of becoming uniquely and fully you into the spaces where you want to be.
Yeah. It's funny because the boat thing was like highly in my brain as you were talking. Like, it's just like, put your damn boat in the water.
Yeah.
You gotta put it in the water if you want to sail. I mean, that's like step one, put it in the water, right? And then you might have to wait for the wind. If you have a sailboat, you might have to wait for the wave. You know, like, you got to put it in the water,
Yeah.
right? Like, and that's
Yes.
what we usually won't do, right? Like, we're afraid to plant the seed. We have the seeds in our hands, but we're procrastinating on planting the seed because we're afraid of what happens after that, right? We're
Yeah.
not in awe of what happens after that. We're not excited about the process of after that because we're panicking about what it means to put the seed in the soil, right?
Yeah.
Like, and
Right.
like, as you were talking, I was thinking about the what is it called, because we were talking in the pregame of the amount of things I called myself before I finally landed on intuitive counselor, because I was all over the place with like the different niches and all that kind of stuff that I felt them at the time, but I needed to move through them so that they would just go away. Right? But the idea that I was thinking of is like, it's not the seed, right? Like, when we plant the seed, we're not saying I'm planting a seed of basil. I'm planting basil, right? Because the plant is the whole thing, right? Like, but we focus so much on what that beginning thing is like in our lives, right? Like, we can't ever just be like, man, I don't know what it's called, but I know what it feels like, or I know the goal of how I want to have my life look like, right? We're afraid of that because it feels too tangential. We've been taught, where's your fucking label? Because without it, you're invalid. And then once you make your label, you've got to stick to it or else you're invalid, right? Like, there's all these things that run through our heads where we're like, bitch, I can call it a seed, and then I can call it a seedling, and then I can call it a whole plant, and then I can call it, and then I can prune it. I can cut that shit down if I want to. This
Yep.
is my process, right? Like what you were saying of the individuality of being like, this is not about the outside. This is about the inside. And if I keep procrastinating on those things that are either going to grow or they're going to grow a little bit and I'm going to prune them, or, I'm going to dig them up and give them away because I decided I didn't want it. Like, I'm not going to be able to have any kind of process if I don't do the first thing. I have to put the seed in the soil to even see if it's going to do anything.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So I love it. They do go together.
Yeah. Yeah. In a weird oxymoron type of way.
No, could it be any other way with us?
Yes, I know. It is.
Straightforward is not a thing.
No, we are tangential and are at the best of times.
And it was very exciting. I mean, look how excited we get to talk about it when it's like, put it together. Oh my God.
It all works.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, our magical money magical whatever card. I am grateful for all that I have in my life.
Oh yeah.
A freaking gratitude is the vibration that brings you more of what you're grateful about. So
yeah.
This week's astrology is pretty light. There is not much happening right now. There is not much like, it's still in eclipse season, guys. So just things are being revealed, things are being let go of, things are happening. There is, of course, some moon things happening, but normal astrology, nothing of note. However, next week we have some bigger things. So join us next week. We will share with you what is happening. So I hope you have a good week. This is the off week for the podcast. Sorry. And so our next episode is on the 24th. I think, yes, because we just had the one about fire. But stay tuned for that. But we hope you have a good week and take care.
Yeah, love you. Thanks for listening.
We hope we gave you something to support your journey.
Check out our Facebook or Instagram page to connect with us.
Have a great week.